and donating so much money to Neighborhood Heroes. Just unbelievable. Give yourselves a round of applause for that. So yeah, I cover the Cubs for ESPN 1000, and I write about them and talk about them on the radio, TV, and I know a lot of you people bought my book tonight on Joe Madden. Someday maybe I'll write one on Kyle. He's had a heck of a career, but some of the proceeds will go to Neighborhood Heroes as well. So I want to thank you for purchasing the book, and Kyle, this one's for you. Next, put it on your reading list. Why don't we bring up Kyle, a little Q&A with him? Got it. Still, we're going to take some questions from the audience at some point. All right. Kyle Schwarber. Now, first and foremost, we were joking in between there, Kyle, in between shots inside. I joked that, there's no game tomorrow, right? So we can hang out a little bit. He quickly mentioned that I wasn't at the game today, and he's right. I had the weekend off. You guys don't understand what 162 games is like. And I get a few weekends off, but I travel and stuff with the team and all that stuff. But I get days off. These guys don't, except for when the schedule allows it. For him to come here after a game and grant for charity, trust me, it's amazing. I needed 3 days off before I could come here, and a day off tomorrow. You came here after playing 17 games in a row in unbelievable heat this weekend, long games. Of course, they were all wins. So, to come out here, nicely done. For a great cause.
You guys were unbelievable during the pictures, and just being able to come out and meet everyone. Thank you guys. Thank you for all the donations that you guys have. We had a lot of great items, so thank you to everyone who donated the items. And this is going towards a great cause, so I thank you guys a lot.
There you go. All right, it is a little late. Let's talk some baseball, because I know a lot of people want to do that. And I got to ask you, okay, I was in L.A. with this team, and I wasn't at the games this weekend, but I certainly watched them. You've scored 60 runs in the last 6 days, averaging 10 runs a game. After losing in L.A. Monday 2-1, you had a team meeting Tuesday. Since then, 60 runs in 6 games. What in God's name did Chili Davis say to you guys on Tuesday? What was that message?
Hit the ball.
Yeah, there you go.
How about you go do it? You go hit 98.
What did he say to you guys?
No, so our meeting more consisted of us as a team just realizing, one, this stuff happens in the game of baseball, that we're going to go through times where, our pitcher's going to go out there and they're just going to shove. They're going to go out there, they're going to give us a one or 2 run game. And, the other guy is pretty good too. He's out there getting paid a lot of money to get us out. And, but, I would say that the main message for us was to be able to trust each other, to know that if we don't get that job done in that moment, the guy behind us will get that job done. And, I feel like that sometimes, not many people here knows what it's like to step in that box. And when you do get that big moment in the game and the fans are standing or they're booing, you want to get that job done so bad that sometimes it can hurt you. And, so that's where, for us as a group, we want to just come together and know, hey, if we got a guy on second base with nobody out, we want to get that guy over to third base and trust that guy behind us. He's going to get that guy in and just go from there.
Trust your teammates.
Exactly.
And I'm telling you, folks, I've covered this team for a while now. I've covered a lot of teams. And I hear this often from these guys since the rebuild started, that if one of them's in the batter's box, they're all in there with them. I've never heard that from another team. Am I wrong? I hear that often. I hear that from Almora often, you often. If one of us is in there, we're all in there together, and that's such a good feeling for that player, isn't it? Because he knows he's got 24 guys backing him.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is that, whenever someone's in that box and they're grinding. They're in that 2-2 count trying to get the 3-2, or 2-2 count trying to get that base hit or get that guy over. We got a bunch of guys behind us who are in that at bat with us. It's not just us. It's not them. Everyone just worrying about what they're doing at the plate, or what they're doing out in the field, or what they're doing on the mound. Everything is revolving around that moment and that at bat, and that's all that matters in that time for us.
Absolutely. All right, let's go inside the dugout today. I mean, everybody saw the game today. John Lester hits a 3-run homer. Now, it's one thing for a pitcher to hit a homer, any pitcher, but John is the warrior of this team. He's having an incredible first half, like MVP Cy Young type stuff. He hits a 3-run homer. What's going on in that dugout? I know you're probably dancing like you're on Dancing with the Stars, right?
Whenever John was actually had a record where he didn't get a hit. He was over what?
60, I think.
Over
61.
And to see the work that this guy has put into his not the pitching stuff. That's what he does. John's a pitcher. John's going to go out there, and you're going to get out John Lester. But to see the work that this guy is actually putting in his swing, when he comes up to the bat, he takes pride in wanting to get that bunt down and get that guy over, or he takes pride in wanting to drive guys in. That's the way that he is. This guy's a complete warrior. He's a great teammate, and when that happens, whenever he hits that 3-run homer, we're all excited for him. But me personally, I was like, hey man, lock it in. I don't care if you hit a 3-run homer. I just want you to get these guys out.
Right. And he did that as well. What a season he's having. It's interesting watching guys like that can hit a little bit, because that keeps them in the game longer too. John talks about that coming over from the American League. He gets taken out a little bit, now more often because he gets pinch hit for him. How do you avoid that? You become a good bunter, you become a good hitter, become more of a complete player.
Exactly, and that's what he's done. And I give this guy tons of credit. One, he's been my mentor since I came to the big leagues. He's the guy who kind of took me under his wing and showed me how to be a professional baseball player and how to act in the big leagues, and how to act when things are going right, how to act when things are going wrong, everything in the middle, and just how to be a good person off the field. He has it. Everyone, I don't know if everyone knows here, but he has a charity for pediatric cancer. So big props to him, and he's one of those reasons too why I wanted to start one of my own charities to give back to everyone.
Speaking of Kyle, we'd be remiss. I mean, players usually hate talking about themselves, but I'm going to make them do it. For those of you that may not know, I visited Kyle in December in Tampa Bay when he was working his butt off while the rest of us were getting ready for the holidays. He was working his butt off. I have the videos on my phone. I'll show you later if you want. I mean, I was tired just watching him. And what did he do? He dropped some weight. He got in that cage. And look at the first half he's had. Defensively and offensively. I know it's only halfway through, but are you pretty happy with what you did in November, December, January paying off at least through half the season?
Yeah, definitely. Here you go.
And she says it,
but
it's true.
Definitely, definitely happy with how it's
7 assists.
Yeah, that just being able to get the balls and cut them off, being able to throw some guys out, just be accurate with throws. Offensively, I still think that there's a lot more in the tank there. I believe myself as a player and as a person that I still have more in the tank than what I'm doing right now. So for anyone out there, I still work my butt off every day. I'm trying to become a better player for you guys and for this organization. So I still think there's still room offensively, but defensively pretty happy.
I've never been a baseball player that was satisfied. He's not either. How about that home run he hit? What was that, yesterday? And almost hit the center field scoreboard. Holy cow! Those are my most favorite home runs of his, when he takes that outside pitch and just demolishes the baseball. I know other people like it when he pulls it, those line drive home runs, but I like the ones that go to center field and just keep on going. So I know it's getting late. If you want to get some questions in, Stu, do we have a microphone out? If you want to raise your hand, ask Kyle. This is late night on a Sunday night. This is Ask Kyle Anything territory. So it's Crawley's always first up. Where is he? Do we get him a mic? Oh, you want to?
I'll speak up for everyone.
There we go.
I'll hold it closer. I'm sorry.
This is anything goes portion of the night.
Keep it PG, Crawley.
Yeah, PG.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it PG.
Yeah, well,
There's
there are
kids here,
there are
so
kids.
everyone.
Kyle, I've been a Cubs fan for a long time. A lot of people seem to have different opinions on Joe Madden about his lineups, how he rotates guys in. What is your opinion as a player as how Joe manages the lineup and what he does day to day to keep you guys rested?
Yeah, that's everyone always asks us, even the media members ask us.
I do.
They ask us about how our manager is with that. And the thing is, at the end of the day, you know what? He's got our best interest at the end of the day. And he's doing what's going to help us get to a World Series. And you know what? If I'm out, I'm out. If Chris needs a day off, Chris needs a day off. We're out there, we're not trying to go out there and we're trying to lose. We're not, that's not our goal. Go out there and lose a game. We're going out there trying to win a ball game every day. And you know what? It might not happen, but we're going to put our best effort out there every day. And at the end of the day, whatever our manager says to do is that what we're going to do.
Let me just add to that and remind people, we all grew up here, including myself, is you've never had a team this deep. If they only had 8 legitimate starters, then you'd see the same 8 out there. But there's like 11. I mean, Tommy probably deserves more time, right?
Yeah, I mean, you think about it. There's a team full of 3-hole hitters on the team.
Right, and so not everybody can play every day. It's when you don't have as good a team as when you see the same 8 out there, because 9, 10, and 11 aren't that good. So, but Joe's also good. Also, come second half, everyone feels a little bit more rejuvenated too. It works that way as well.
Yeah, that's the big thing too. Is that we got the big picture ahead of us too.
Right.
We have to be able to realize that one, we're trying to win as many ball games as we can right now, but also there's still another whole half of the season to play. So we have to be able to keep up with our division pretty much. The Milwaukee's, the St. Louis's, the Milwaukee's, the Dodgers, the Astros, the Red Sox, whoever it is. We have to be able to feel rested and feel good stepping on that field, because at the end of the day, it's all about wins. And once we get to that postseason, it's all out in line. It's all it's all going to be whoever wants it more.
And you don't want to be fatigued. All right, who's next?
All right, Kyle, I told you earlier my nickname since you were drafted, Captain Diggers, patent pending. I got to say, when it came to the World Series season, you didn't play the entire season. You came in the World Series, you hit over 400, on base percentage over 500. I was there at Game 7. 10th inning, everything happened. Hayward talks to you, you're on. You get that first hit, I just got to know, mentally, I had my heart in my throat. I got to know what was going through your head, because I could only imagine it as a player.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the whole story there is, we're in Game 7 and we're up a couple runs, and you're thinking, you know what, we're going to win this game. And all of a sudden, it gets taken away from us pretty much. It's not for sure if we're going to win this game. Now, Roger Davis has a heck of a bat against Rollins Chapman. The best closer in the time of all baseball. Aroldis is upset with himself. He's crying. There's a lot of mixed emotions. There's not many people knowing how to react, and that's why Jason kind of called that meeting, just to get everyone together and to regroup and to make sure that we're all on the same page heading out into this 10th inning. Because anything can happen now. It's anyone's game. We're playing one inning at a time. And when I step into that box, I had my mind set clear, what I wanted to accomplish in the box. And, I wanted to know what type of pitch I wanted to get. And I knew exactly what I wanted to do with that pitch, drive that pitch. And, luckily Brian Shaw was on the mound, threw the cutter middle in and was able to get the bat there. And once I hit the ball, I'd shake my fist because, I knew what I wanted to do right there. And I knew that if I got on, good things can happen. I knew pretty much as soon as I hit that ball, I was coming out of the game. I'm flipping around these bases. I'm trying to look all athletic, stealing off Kluber in that game, and I'm like, I'm probably coming out. But I really feel like the most underrated play in that extra inning game was Albert Armora's tag right there. That tag play, and I'm telling you right now, God honest truth, if I was on first base, I was not tagging. I would have been trying to score there. But that was the most underrated play, and then the rest is history. Ben Zobrist, double down the line. Miguel Montero, big hit too right there, the add-on insurance run, pretty much the game-winning hit. Yeah. Unbelievable, the best feeling ever. But once he got taken out of the game, I was, like a little kid. I'm like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? I hope we win.
Awesome memory, man. Awesome memory. All right, back there, young man.
Do you do anything like superstitious before games?
It's a good question.
That is a good question. I would say it's not really superstitious. It's more of a routine for me. Every player, every guy has the routine of how they want to get their day going. I get to the field early because I have a lot of things that I want to do when I get to that field. I want to be able to look at the pitcher. I want to be able to drink my coffee. I want to be able to, earplugs, kids. I want to be able to go to the bathroom. I also want to be able to get in the hot tub. I want to be able to go down to the cage and get what I want to get out of my cage session and not feel rushed. And then once I'm out of the cage, then it's time for me to kind of mentally lock it in on how I want to attack that pitcher. And then I hop in that shower, and then once I get out of that shower, it's game mode. It's time for me to really start locking it in and really focus on what I want to do that game. And then once it comes 20 minutes before the game, I'm out there on the line, getting stretched, ready to go, and then it's game time.
All right. And then sometimes I walk up to him beforehand and say, why'd you go 0 for 4 last night? And it just takes him off everything.
Exactly. And it makes me want to kind of punch him.
He hasn't yet, though. He hasn't yet.
Justin, over here.
Over here.
Right. There.
So, coming from a family of first responders, what made you want to become a baseball player? And if you were a first responder, what field would you go in for that?
Yeah, great question. Thank you. Thank you for asking that question, by the way. I would say that baseball was in my heart since I was a little kid. It was, being able to watch the Barry Larkins, the King Griffey Juniors. I grew up in Cincinnati, and I know they're in our division. Yeah, a little. But I was able to watch some of the best players in the game go out there and take the field every day. And, for me, that's who I wanted to be. And, that's what I kind of set my mind to. And I give my parents a lot of credit for being able to take on, my mom, multiple jobs, being able to go back to college and get her degree and to take on another job. My dad doing what he did as a policeman to pretty much give me every opportunity to be a baseball player. So I give them a lot of credit, one. And then two, if I didn't go to college on a baseball scholarship, I probably, Indiana. But if I probably didn't get one, I probably would have just said, you know what, I'm not saying this kid's go to college, but I would have probably just said, you know what, I want to serve my country. It's something else that I believe. strongly in. And, you know, I have a lot of family members who have served my country, have served our country. And for everyone else in here who has served our country or serving their communities, thank you guys very much.
Well said. There you go. That's it.
As a person who's played baseball their whole life as well, I gotta ask, what is your passion? I know you lost the weight, I know you've worked harder than anyone else has, but as a kid, what drive you to do this?
I would say that I have a, I don't know, I would say a lot of baseball players are perfectionists, and we want to be the best at what we do. And that still drives me, whenever I'm, like today, I went 2 for 5. You know what? I wanted to be 5 for 5. That's what drives me, literally. I mean, I'm not satisfied with just getting 2 hits and, ooh, yay. You know what? I still want to be better than that. And, that's what drives me to be in this game, because, you know what? This game is crazy. And you know what? I learned a lot about myself last year, too, going through all those struggles where, I barely hit 200. You know what? You learn a lot about yourself, because one, that's pretty much the first time I really experienced failure. And you know what? For people in here, and all the young people too, the first time you experience failure and something, your profession, I'm sure there's a lot of adults in here that experience failure in what they've done. It's not a good feeling. And you know what? You learn a lot about yourself, one, and two, it's going to teach you not to do it again. And 3, it builds character, and I would say that that's kind of the biggest thing too. That last year taught me a lot about myself, and I didn't want to make a lot of the same mistakes I did last year.
Jeff, we're gonna take one more.
Okay, one more.
How are you feeling after knowing you're going to be able to play in the 2016 World Series after being out 6 months?
How did I feel? Excited. Nervous wreck about every word that you can think of, because one, I never thought it was a possibility to where I would be able to come back and try to help the team win. And 2, I give all the credit to my teammates, because they're the ones who got there, and it was never about me. I did that for them. And I did that for you guys too, because I wanted to try to help win this championship for everyone who's been waiting for 108 years. So, going down to the fall league to be able to rehab, it was there was a lot of hours spent out there on that field, and at the end of the day, I didn't really know if I was ready or not. And I wasn't the one who was making the decision. And I got that call I got a text from Theo right after my last fall league game that I made the roster. And I was really, really nervous, because I was excited, one, but 2, I was nervous because, I didn't even get a legit hit in the fall league in like 2 games. I was like, ooh, oh man, if I face Kluber, I'm ready over 6 with 6 punch outs off the guy. If I don't feel competitive, I'm just gonna, ow, my knee hurts. But I was really excited, honored, and like I said, all the credit goes to my teammates. They got there. I was just along for that 7-game ride, and like I said, unbelievable. 108 years, be able to break the curse. We're trying to do it again. We're not satisfied.
It was so interesting, because I remember when Joe was talking about him returning, and Joe was right on the money about it. He said, I think we might get the best out of Schwarber for a few games here, because the adrenaline will take over. In other words, if you had been back a few weeks, you may have come down from it. You know what I mean? Like, you just rode that wave. Yeah. And who knows what it had been a month later, if the knee would have held up, whatever. But it's like, you just grabbed that adrenaline, and it just took you for those 4 games you DH'd or whatever it was.
Yeah, there definitely a lot of adrenaline. after my first at bat, I punched out, but I was able to get to a 3-2 count. And I went back, and the good thing about being a DH is that you're able to go back and go look at that at bat and see what you did and where your swing was and everything. And I went back and I look at that pitch, and I'm like, man, I'm right on that pitch. I was just under it. So if he throws that same pitch again, I'm going to go ahead and waffle this thing. And sure enough, my second at bat, I was able to put one off the fence.
Oh yeah, I remember. And when you walked against Andrew Miller, who hadn't walked a lefty in like 2 years or something crazy, I knew you were back. I mean, you had that plate. It was amazing, your plate discipline, considering you hadn't played all year. Like, you knew exactly what was a strike and what wasn't in that moment. It was amazing.
Yeah, that was. I would say that was kind of a big focus on what I did down there in Arizona. So the full background story, guys, was that we went out to LA. So we played the first 2 games in Chicago, and then had the off day, and then we were out in LA. So that off day, I went to go see the doctor, and that's when he cleared me. So I went to LA, was able to hit, spent that game 3 there. And then game 4, I was in Arizona. And that was when pretty much I was like, okay, we're going to go ahead and just fire up this pitching machine. And we're just going to keep firing balls in there. And they're trying to limit my swings. So I'm just going to go ahead in there and just stand in there and, just take mental reps. And I had someone stand behind me. And I would say, hey, I want you to go ahead and move this pitching machine around the strike zone. And I'm going to tell you if it's a strike or a ball. And I want to know your opinion. So we spent probably, 3 hours on that a day, just me being able to go out there, stand there, and say strike or ball, and the guy would agree or disagree.
Wow, wow! I didn't even know you did that much. Amazing. One more, you said?
Yeah, we can keep going.
Okay. No game tomorrow.
Hi, Kyle.
Hey there.
I know I'm not alone, but...
Hey, guys, for everyone who didn't know, this is the person who presented me my ring, so big round of applause for him.
I'll beat you to the punch, but first of all, I don't think I'm alone. I don't think any of us can watch highlights or replays of Game 7 without getting emotional. Every time it's on my DVR, and I plan to be on there forever. But of course, my most meaningful moment, and I am beyond thrilled and honored to have done this, was to present your ring to you in front of millions of fans and representing Cubs Nation, and I'm so appreciative of that. But my question is for you and Paige. When the two of you get married, can I be your ring bearer?
I'll say that.
And my girl's a wedding planner, so you're covered there as well.
Right, we're good.
You're all set. Oh! Boy. You? Jeez. I'll tell you, I'd have quite the story if that was the case. They go live on ESPN with that one. All right, go ahead.
Wow. Should I sit down?
So I have a 23-year-old daughter and a 26-year-old son, and every time I watch you play, all I think of is like I'm a total mom, and I'm so proud of you and so amazed by your talent and your skill. And what I think every time you are interviewed and any time you're in this such situation is, how do you, at your age, deal with this kind of adoration and attention and love? Because I'm looking at my kids and I'm thinking, they can't do their own laundry.
I don't either.
He can do all this.
I'm kidding. No, not really, but so I would say one is the upbringing of my parents, because I would say us people from the Midwest. We're raised the way we're raised. We don't ever think that anything's bigger than us, and I enjoy this. I enjoy being able to come here and talk to people and see just how much they care about a person who's playing a game. On just because it's on TV, they think we're famous. I mean, hey, you know what? I could easily just be in your shoes, and you could easily be in my shoes. And but seriously, everyone always wants to ask questions about the game of baseball, and I feel like that I owe you guys answers on that, because not many people, you guys are fans of the game. You guys live and die by how we do, pretty much, and literally, and I want to be able to give you guys those answers, and think what goes on through our minds when we're playing this game. And hopefully by the end of this, one, you guys realize the game's not as easy as it looks on TV. But two, that we're always trying to win a game, and we're always trying to do our best, and that we're always trying to satisfy you guys, and that we always want to win a championship. We're not satisfied with coming in second place. We're going to be satisfied when we finish in first place, when we win an NLDS, when we win an NLCS, and then we win on the championship game.
Well said. And I think of something Joe says often as well. It's easy to lose a baseball game. Think about it. You just play sloppy. It's easy. It's hard to keep winning. It's hard. It's hard to stay on top. I mean, it's hard to get there like you did in 16, but it's hard to stay on top year after year. That's why when you don't start out so fast, you can't go nuts, because, man, it is difficult to win. It's easy to lose. It's hard to keep winning. I mean, even that's coming from someone in the media. I even recognize that. But I think fans need to recognize that as well. I mean, it is really hard to win division. Real quick before you answer, not one division winner from last year is in first place right now. The Dodgers aren't in first. The Nationals aren't in first. It's not easy to keep on winning. And I think, like you said, it looks easy sometimes, but it's not. It's really not.
Exactly. That's where, we want to do it again. But, like you said, it's not easy. It's not easy to keep winning. And it's not like we accept that. It's not like we're in the clubhouse and whoever's pitching, let's say Chris Sale, the best, or we can go whoever's the best in AL, Kershaw, or in NL, Kershaw. We're not in the clubhouse going, no, hang with them, boys. You know what? This one might be a tough one. No. We're in there, and you know what? We're like, man, we're going to get this guy. We're going to get this guy for 7. We're going to get this guy for 7. Then we're going to get to their bullpen, and then we're going to put on another 7. And then we're going to go from there. But
they actually did that this week. You pretty much did that.
But in all reality, sometimes it's not going to happen. But that's our mindset going into every game, and I feel like it's good to show to you guys that that's what we plan when we go into a game. We're going in there thinking we're going to get a win out of this game no matter what. But and we're never quitting until the end, boy. And, guys, and I'm going to tell you that we're never quitting. Every time, we get in that late inning spots and we're putting some guys on base, and we're one swing away from taking the lead. That's what we're about. That's what we're about at the end of the day. Never quit till the end.
There you go. Did you have one over here? Okay.
I'm probably not worthy.
You're probably not worthy, but ask anyway.
I just want to thank Stu McVicker for doing everything you do, buddy.
There you go.
Yeah, big round for Stu, please, because one, I've never been to a charity event like this in my ever. This is a madhouse, one-of-a-kind deal that I am very honored to be a part of, because I would love to keep this going, because the people here are unbelievable. You're unbelievable. It's very professionally run, and I thank you again. Thank you.
Thanks, Stu.
buddy Stu, anytime you party with Stu, he always nominates a party champion.
Oh my God.
And Stu is always the party champion. But I want to know who is the party champion on the Chicago.
Now we're getting to the real stuff.
That's a good question.
Present company excluded.
Just say myself, right?
Yeah.
Partying with you guys tonight. Yeah.
I don't remember Rizzo doing shots when he was here. I don't remember. All right. Who's next?
All right. Let's go ahead. Let's keep these coming.
Yeah.
Just curious if any of the other players that been here give you a heads up on what to expect.
No, you know what? No one gave me a heads up, but you know what? I'm very happy because, like I said, you know what? I'm sick and tired of talking about you guys because all I can say is nice things. You know, I see familiar faces here. My left field gang back here.
There you go.
You know, everyone else who comes to games. You know, this is, you guys are what give us a job at the end of the day, and we can't thank you guys enough as players because we're able to be one of the few teams in all Major League Baseball to have a packed house every night. And you guys don't know what that's like, being able to go to, you know, I'm not talking bad on an organization or anything like that, but whenever you go to a place and it's not packed, I'm
always there. It's like the air comes out of the balloon. It is deflating, and this year's been bad in a few places. I don't want to say either.
But when you're able to step on the Wrigley Field, one, the history speaks for itself, but two, when the fans are there and we're packed and we're going, and you guys are so in tune to the ball game, to where you guys know when to stand up and cheer for a big moment, even if it's in the second inning or the first inning. That gets us going. Trust me, that gets us going. And we appreciate that.
And there's only a few places that happens. There's not a lot of places in the league that happens, so it's special. One more?
Thank you. So, you know, we're all very impressed how you've become an outstanding left fielder and you're gunning people out and they fear you. Do you miss being a catcher?
Yeah. Awesome.
Well, one, I will say that we have one of the best catchers in the game of baseball. The passion, the fuel, the leadership role that he brings behind the plate fuels us all out in the field, because that's what the catcher's position does, is that fuel, you know, if you think about it, everyone in the field is looking at three people on the field that are facing you. It's the catcher, the hitter, and the umpire. And you're focused on that guy who's on your team. And he's the guy who keeps us going when he's fueled up, whenever Jason Hayward tosses someone out the plate and he gets fired up and we're all fired up for him. You know, whenever that guy gets a big hit and he's on second base and he's pounding his chest like he's about to cave his chest in, you know, that goes a long ways. And you know, we all have a ton of respect for that guy for what he does. But two, yes, I do miss catching. I do, because you know I was a football player in high school. I love kind of that dirt, get down to it, grind. But I guess left field's second best.
Let me ask you. I mean, now that you've played left field for a few years, we know you've hit homers for your whole life. You haven't played left that long, and now that you're throwing guys, what's that feeling like when you throw out a guy at third or at home? Is it kind of like the same as hitting a home run?
No, it's a great feeling, because you know what, you just saved a run.
Yeah.
You know what,
yeah.
That could be the difference in like today, the 11-10 game,
Absolutely
or
right.
the 2-1 game, or the 1-0 game. You know, I feel like that's, you know, with the outfield that we have with Albert, J. Hay, Happer, and Zobrist out there, you know, we have a lot of athletic people, and we all feed off each other. And
Come on, everybody!
we do have a noise ordinance.
Oh,
yeah, we'll wrap up. Yeah.
All right. Well, how about a hand for everybody that came out?